Hello everyone and welcome to the channel. I'm Emmanuel, I'm an airline pilot, and Aerosoft have finally received the long-awaited CRJ V2 update. The CRJ V2 is free for owners of the version 1, and for those of you who don't own version 1 yet, you can purchase it from the Aerosoft shop or through Aerosoft One for a price of approximately €50. Now, the changelog is actually quite a long one for this update, so you can see that just about over here on the Aerosoft shop website. But let's go over the key features that have been added to the aircraft. So first of all, let's go ahead and head inside. Now we can see full FS 2024 compatibility over here. But going inside, then we can immediately see the first complete new feature, which is the virtual cabin that's been added to the aircraft. Now, remembering that this is a free update, I think this is a pretty decent cabin that we've gotten over here. If we just take a seat on one of those seats in front over here, this is what it looks like. Now, in my opinion, quite an okayish cabin, certainly not the very best. It can't compete with the likes of Phoenix or any builds, but it's a decent looking cabin, and taking into account it's a free update, a very good one indeed. Apart from that, we have also seen quite a couple of changes that have been done to the flight deck. And most namely, when we're entering the flight deck, we see the beautiful galley over here. But inside the flight deck, we do see quite some changes to the electronic flight deck. Most notably, Navigraph charts have been added to the product, and one of my favorite features within those is that you've got a very good three different levels of zoom available over here. You have this 1-to-1, which brings you this kind of view over here. Then you can go inside and out manually, like you are used to from any other aircraft. But then you also have these two fixed zoom levels here, Zoom A and Zoom B. And Zoom A zooms far enough in that you get a very good overview of the airport on the live taxi chart. And then Zoom B really gets you all the way in so that you can see all the gates and everything close up, which makes it very, very easy to taxi with the new CRJ updates. Also, quite a lot of options have been added to the aircraft, such as turn knob acceleration, altitude mode, or altitude knob mode and speed knob mode, which basically toggles between changing your numbers in hundreds, 500s or thousands, or respectively your speeds in 1 or 10 steps. And likewise, you also can update the nav data from right within your simulator. Over here you can synchronize your flight plan with SimBrief, and then you can even view the actual OFP from within the electronic flight bag. So quite an extensive update there. Of course, the updates aren't just visuals only. We also have some system updates in here, in that the aircraft has seen quite some refinements on LNAV and VNAV. But do note that VNAV still is only optional in the CRJ, and the vast majority of real-life CRJs only have advisory VNAV available, which shows you the recommended vertical speeds, but you have to follow them using either vertical speed mode or speed mode over here, and only very few CRJs are equipped with the coupled VNAV button over here that actually enables the aircraft to follow a VNAV profile. So much, so good. I'm sure many of you are going to remember my preview video of the CRJ, or rather my preview live stream from a couple of days ago. And while we had a lot of fun flying the aircraft over there, it did encounter some issues such as missing stars in the database, or missing top of descents, incorrect VNAV data, and so on. Now, I'm happy to say that over the past week I did spend quite a bit of time with Hans Hartmann. We were on the phone for quite a little while, discussing issues, discussing cases, how to replicate those problems, and those ultimately led to the update being delayed for a tiny bit longer. But in that time, Hans has put quite a bit of work into fixing up some of the stuff, so that the release version of the CRJ is now looking quite a bit better than the preview version that I featured on my live stream about a week ago. Now, we will do full flights with the updated version here on the channel very soon. In the meantime, I do recommend you to check the update out for yourself. It certainly is a free update for those of you who already own the CRJ V1, so just head into Aerosoft 1 and download the CRJ V2 over there. And if you haven't, then the price of the product has actually been reduced a little bit to go with the time, so that the bundle package including the CRJ 550, CRJ 700, CRJ 900 and CRJ 1000 are now available for roughly €50, which is quite an okay deal in my opinion, seeing that you get 4 different variants of the aircraft and seeing that it still is quite an extensive one, still better than some competing regional jets for sure. And even though it is a 4-year-old aircraft by now, it still is okay compared to some recent releases. Now, the Boris sound pack will need updating over here. Boris is surely going to do that very soon. He does have a copy of the aircraft available, so I do expect the Boris sound pack to become compatible very soon. Hopefully he'll also do something about the cabin, as that's still one of those things where, in my opinion, the sounds can be improved a little bit, but be sure that that feedback has already been given to Hans and he knows about my recommendations on what to do over there. Well, my friends, apart from that, would I recommend to buy the CRJ nowadays if you have still not obtained it earlier? The answer to that is quite simply yes, I would. The CRJ is a very interesting aircraft to fly. The avionics are quite different from other aircraft that you are used to flying, and the aircraft does indeed offer quite a lot of fun. It is a bit more of a manual aircraft. It's not as highly automated as your 737 or A320, let alone A350 is, but it still is a hugely interesting aircraft, giving you a lot of insights into how to operate aircraft with less automation. Now, auto throttle, since that question did come up, is not available in the CRJ series, or at least not in the CRJ NG series that we see modeled over here. Only the CRJ 200 that did not have a FADEC has auto throttle installed, or rather auto throttle available as an option. For this reason we don't see it in the simulation either. But basically manual thrust is fairly easy. All you're going to do is to move your thrust levers slowly and with a certain determination. So if you're slightly below or above your target speed, just make an input like this, wait for the airplane to respond. There's quite a bit of mass that needs to be accelerated or decelerated here. So small inputs are key. There is no sense going like this on the thrust lever. That's not going to lead you anywhere. Well, apart from that, I'm now off to recording one more preview flight to show you some of the changes that have been done, such as the fix for the top of descent, which actually was a fairly easy one, and Hans and me had a good laugh about it when we discovered exactly what was wrong there. So very happy to see him at work on this update, and now it's up to you guys. Let me know what you think about the update. It can be obtained, as mentioned, from Aerosoft 1 for free for owners of the previous CRJ, $50 for those of you who didn't own it yet. In my opinion, still a full recommendation here, as it is still the best regional jet currently available for the simulator, in my personal opinion. So go ahead, check it out, and if you already did that, leave your feedback in the comments underneath the video. I'm very much interested to hear what you think about it. But for the time being, thank you very much once again to Hans for providing me the review copy of the CRJ. As always, it's up to you guys now. Like, comment and subscribe, and if you really love what I'm doing on this channel, I would appreciate a small donation through the Buy Me Coffee link in the video description below. Thank you very much for watching, and I'm looking forward to see you all again on the next one.